Oh, very satisfying.
I'm very jealous of that. I wish that happened to me.
So not on purpose.
That's called getting old, kids.
Oh,
that's what I call that.
No, I don't like that. Hey guys, today we released our album, Everyone's a Critic. It's available on all streaming platforms, so we really hope that you guys will go check it out. Today we are going to sit down and go through the songs on our new album and kind of just talk about all the tracks, give you some fun facts about them, what they mean to us, what they're about, who wrote them. So here we go.
We're going to start with the first track on the album, which is called Everyone's a Critic. Everyone's a Critic is a bit of a tongue-in-cheek song that I initially wrote to kind of make fun of myself. But now I've kind of gained perspective on the song, and I kind of realized that I think I also wrote it because, I mean, first of all, I realized everybody is a critic, and
No lie.
and I think sometimes at parties, girls get more flack for having a good time. And I think that that's kind of what I was going for, because, you know, a guy can go bananas and everybody thinks it's funny, but the minute a girl goes a little too bananas,
She's a mess.
she's a mess. We're gonna talk about her.
The funny thing about going to parties is that there's a lot of people there who will judge anybody who goes a little too crazy, when really they've been just as crazy before, you know? We've all been crazy. So what's this hypocrisy here of like being that judgmental big mouth? I don't know. I don't get it.
It just happens. People just like to talk, I think.
But it
That's
goes
kind of
for
what we learned.
everything in life. You know, you could just apply it to anything, but this was kind of the more personal reason. The next song on the album is one called Forgive Me. When I wrote this song, I was trying to channel this kind of sexy Lana Del Rey vibe. We love Lana Del Rey, we think she's amazing, and I was listening to a lot of her records. I was trying to channel Lana's spicy vibe, and I was like, we don't have a spicy song. We don't have any spicy songs. So I kind of brought myself into this little dream world where I pictured myself being a hippie in LA in the 60s and like running wild and free with my lover. Yeah.
Just a blank-faced person just running with you. It's like Slenderman.
Yeah, and I just had this imagination to myself. And I just, I kind of rolled with it. I went to this cafe near our place and just sat down and wrote out all those lyrics. Then I like sat down with the guitar and I was like, and then it just
did something in it.
Stuck. Yeah, and it just kind of happened. This song is also pretty tongue-in-cheek. Like, it doesn't take itself too seriously. It's just like a spicy little daydream that I had one day that I decided to string sentences along to. And my little that, perfect depiction of what that sounds like.
That's exactly how the song starts. If you haven't listened to it yet, that's really gonna intrigue you too. Okay, so the next song on the record is one that has been out for a while. It was the debut single, and it's called Get Stoned. Get Stoned, again, is another tongue-in-cheek song that was written from a personal experience. I was gonna say a personal experience that I had, but I guess it was a personal experience that we had because we're twins and we experience everything together. So when I say I mean we, like Gollum.
Gollum does that?
He does that. Like we, like when he's talking about himself, he's like, we want the ring.
Creepy.
Oh yeah. It was a personal experience that we had one night at a party. Again, it was kind of like, this song was, I can't remember which one I wrote first. I think I wrote Everyone's a Critic first. So this was kind of like...
Was it from the same party?
No, it wasn't from the same party.
Kind of a similar concept though.
Yes.
But long story short, we were just kind of shamed at this party. A little shamed.
By some girls. Obviously that is not the experience we've had at every single party we've been to. But that's why it kind of threw us off guard, and
absolutely
we were a little bit upset about that.
So we were just throwing a little shade.
Not actually though, because we really don't care. I feel like when something hurts your feelings a little bit, it's kind of fun to switch it around and make it kind of funny. Add a little comedy to the situation, and it kind of just, evaporates out of your subconscious.
It's kind of like a little FU, but like just a mini one, just like the knuckle.
Because like we're not gonna give you the full finger.
Yeah.
Because we don't care that much. So this song was written after Everyone's a Critic, and it was kind of just like Everyone's a Critic's baby. Like if Everyone's a Critic, the song had a baby, that song would be Get Stoned.
The next one is
Mattress on the Floor. So I always tell the same story when I talk about Mattress on the Floor. So I always tell the same story when I talk about Mattress on the Floor. I tell the story with the mattress on the floor.
You can tell the story with the mattress on the floor.
When I'm talking about mattress on the floor. Okay.
You may think that she was talking about a metaphorical mattress on the floor. But was she? Give us the deets, Elena. Give us the deets.
There we go. So I would say half and half. I started working on Mattress on the Floor quite a few years ago. I was sitting in my friend's car. I don't remember what we were talking about, but he just said, "You should write a song called Mattress on the Floor." You should do that. And I thought, okay. A song called Mattress on the Floor. I'm like, I kind of like that. It paints a picture. It's kind of cool. So I sat down and I tried to write a song called Mattress on the Floor. And I tried, and I tried, and I tried, and I rewrote it like 10 times till I was finally like, it's dead. And I was like, this song, I just buried it. I just said, rest in peace, Mattress on the Floor, which if any of you guys write songs, you probably have felt that way before. And it's kind of a sad feeling. Then later on in life, like, I guess it was probably like 6 months later. So wasn't that later on in life. Brianna and I moved out into our first apartment. For the first few weeks that we were there, we didn't have a bed. We were waiting for it to get moved in, but for some reason, it took forever. I think we had a hard time getting into contact with movers or something like that.
Or like renting a van, some silly, mundane detail.
Silly that was annoying. I remember the first thing I did when we moved in was put down a few rugs on the floor and rolled up a few other rugs to put underneath our heads on the floor. One day my boyfriend came over and we were laying down on this rug with the rugs underneath our heads, and he was not pleased. And it was a terrible sleep. I had a few terrible sleeps on this rug, and then the next day he brought me a mattress on the floor. And well, I guess it was not a mattress on the floor. He didn't wheel in a floor and a mattress.
A mattress for
the floor. It's a very sweet gesture. And while I was lying on this mattress on the floor, I just thought, wow, this is what it is to be young. But that was kind of like what inspired me to continue working on the song. And the song itself, I guess the mattress on the floor is kind of a metaphor. It's kind of just reflecting on the idea of feeling like you're at rock bottom, and this could be at any point in life, when you feel like you are not where you're supposed to be, when you feel like you should be better, more successful, or anything. You can really apply that to anything, and just feeling like you're on your own personal mattress on the floor. You are roughing it, seeing the amazing things about being in that time period of your life. Because every period of your life is amazing in its own way. I've kind of realized that when I reflect upon my own short life. Or at least on the year that we lived in our apartment and no longer had a mattress on the floor, it was an actual bed.
So the next one on the album is Modern Medication. This is one that we wrote with Louise Burns. She is not here, but I don't know why I said that.
She's clearly not here.
She's not here, guys.
She just pops out from behind the bookcase.
No, she's not here. But we'll talk about what it means to us and how it came to be. So we went to her place. She made us some avocado toast. We sat down with a magazine and cut out all the words and pasted them together to kind of just get us started. And that's where we came up with the line, "I was born into the magazine generation, trying to avoid myself." And that was kind of where it started. I had this song called Plastic People that never turned into anything. I kind of just had this concept in that song though that was like modern medicine for the soul. Social media is modern medicine for the soul. It is a drug and it keeps us all addicted. And I think we all feel the effects of that. As we were writing this song, I was like, oh, let's bring in that idea as well. So we sat down with Louise and she kind of came up with that little part on the keyboard. We made a really basic demo with her. It was a really amazing collaboration because she's a really good friend of ours, and I feel like we wrote about something that meant a lot to all of us.
I think it was our first co-writing session really with anyone. This is the first song that we've released that has been co-written with another human that is not one of us.
If we're gonna tie it together, everyone's a critic on the internet as well. Like, people that criticize selfies, it's like, come on, you never took a selfie? Really? And we're critical of ourselves as well on social media. It causes us to be that way, comparing ourselves to others all the time, and like having this expectation that can never be met. It's scary. I think it's really scary.
Okay, so here we are with the last track of our little album.
I was listening to a lot of Frank Ocean when I wrote this song. I was feeling this longing to remove myself from social media, but also feeling trapped by the idea that I really can't. I was idealizing, again, I was in my dreamland, like a time before social media, and romanticizing that, and just kind of this longing to be free from the idea of myself on the internet, what I'm portraying on there. Another kind of little theme in this song is how we reject nature these days. You know, I just find that so sad. People would rather just be on their phones or watching TV and not really appreciating what we have here on Earth, and romanticizing this idea of like this freedom. It also was like inspired by this image that I had in my head. I was at a party that ended up on the beach, and we stayed up on the beach all night long till 6 in the morning, watched the sunrise. And it was very memorable for me, just the color of the sky. And I had that image in my head when I started this song. And the words kind of just flowed out. They all flowed out at once. I wrote it all at once and didn't change a thing about it, which never really happens. But I didn't want to change anything about it. I think it came out exactly how it was supposed to. It was one of those songs that kind of just like, I was momentarily possessed.
I love that.
You know, doesn't that happen with some songs that
you
write, where you like write it and it's like,
ew, that's a terrible, oh god, I don't like that.
Or,
like, I don't know, I guess
it's like,
I like that better. That sound is better than the game. That's what happened to me with Get Stoned a little bit. But I did edit it a tad. So like it didn't come out, it wasn't exactly the same as that. So that is really cool. You must have been possessed.
Yeah, I think I was possessed.
I guess that's the whole album. I guess, I mean, I know.
A few people to thank. We're going to thank our record company, 604 Records, for all the support. Eddie Maher from Fake Shark, who produced the album.
He's amazing.
Wonderful
band. If you guys haven't checked out Fake Shark, they actually also just dropped an album last week.
Yeah. Alex Glassford, also thank you for playing some real drums on a few of the tracks. You are amazing.
Also thank you to our old roommate Haley Clark, our old roommate and best friend, for putting up with the constant writing and brainstorming for this album, the constant music.
Yes,
from our bedroom door.
Thank you, Haley. Thank you to our mom and dad for always being so supportive of us. We are the luckiest girls in the world to have parents like you guys.
Obviously Louise Burns.
Thank you, girl.
Thank you, girl. Thank you to everybody who helped us with all of our videos and merch and the whole works. A lot of people go into things like this, you know?
Behind our team. Thank you for everyone on the team. And thank you guys for streaming the album and letting us live our dream. We love you all, and let us know what you think.
Thank you so much, guys. Goodbye.
Goodbye, everybody.